What's up, guys? Couple days late here, but we're checking out the Austrian Grand Prix. After the Styrian Grand Prix, the F1 circus is back at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix, not the Styrian Grand Prix, the second one. After a dominant showing from Max and Red Bull at the Styrian Grand Prix, they looked to be easy favorites again after Mercedes was left scratching their heads. How could they answer in just a few days? Pirelli also chose to bring the softest tire range this week, one step more than the week prior, with the C5, 4, and 3 compounds, just to shake it up a little bit. Sebastian showed off his beekeeping skills with the help of some kids, made a nice car-shaped home for him that Fernando might later smash. Also, Lewis Hamilton signed a 2-year contract extension with Mercedes to at least 2023, maybe thinking he'll need a few more years to surpass the Michael. The action gets underway on Friday with FP1. Many lockups and trips through the gravel traps, especially Lance Stroll finding them twice. We had some reserve drivers in action, with Roy Nissany getting in George's Williams again, Callum Ilott in Giovinazzi's Alpha, and the F2 points leader, Guan Yu Zhou, sat in for Fred in the Alpine and impressed a lot, only being 4/10 off Ocon. Max was back in the zone, being P1 in front of the 2 Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz. FP2 showed how bad traffic and queuing was going to be around the pit entry, only the start. Leclerc had an amazing save. Both Ferraris seemed to be working on race runs. Hamilton ended up with P1, Bottas 2/10 off in P2, and Verstappen in P3. Saturday now, FP3 started off with some new tire testing, but turned into the quali sims as usual. Verstappen was quickest ahead of Bottas and Hamilton. Again, both AlphaTauris were quick, and a surprising 5th by Giovinazzi in the Alpha. Q1 gets underway, and at the end of it, Ocon is knocked out again, continuing a rough stretch in the triple header for him. In Q2, a killer lap by Alonso is ruined by Vettel, queued up, waiting to start a flying lap. George Russell puts in a mega lap on the mediums to get into Q3 for the first time in a Williams by 100th over the 2 Ferraris. And another poor qualifying by Danny Rick. Much to the dismay of the Tifosi, though, Ferrari strategy, to me, was the right choice, not wanting to compromise their race on a killed set of softs. Vettel would go on to get a 3-place grid drop for being in the way of Alonso. Q3, Verstappen's first flying lap at a 103.720 proves enough to be pole ahead of a mega lap by Norris, only half a tenth off. Perez was third with the Mercs of Hamilton and Bottas 4th and 5th, Gasly, Tsunoda 6th and 7th, press for AlphaTauri ahead of Vettel, Russell, and Stroll. It's race day. During the pre-race, an amazing jaw-dropping national anthem happens. We'll get into that later. Brundle is out again, so we're left with the purple sector guy. Lights out, you know the drill by now. Verstappen gets away ahead of Norris and Perez. The safety car is out as Esteban Ocon gets squeezed in 3 and has the right front suspension damage. He's out again. On lap 4, Sergio Perez tries to pass outside of Norris in turn 4 and goes into the traps and slides down the order. Norris receives a 5-second penalty. On lap 31, Norris pits and takes the penalty, followed by Bottas to leapfrog him in the pits. On 41, Leclerc tries to make the pass outside of Perez in turn 4, and he goes off when Perez runs him wide. So Perez, just by way of the Norris penalty, takes a 5-second penalty also. Fast forward to lap 47, Leclerc again tries on the outside of turn 5, going off, giving Perez another 5-second penalty. Hamilton, in second, goes over a sausage curb causing floor damage, and on lap 52 is passed by his teammate. 2 laps later, Norris gets around Lewis for third. With just 3 to go, Alonso gets around George Russell for the final point, again crushing George's hopes. On the final lap, Kimi and Vettel come together and go off while battling with George for 11th. Max goes on to take an easy win, gets the fastest lap to boot ahead of Bottas and Norris. Hamilton's 4th, followed by Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo, Gasly, and Alonso. In the driver standings, Max takes a 32-point lead over Hamilton, ahead of Perez and Norris. That battle only 3 points apart. Constructor standings, Red Bull holds a 44-point lead over Mercedes, and McLaren are now 19 ahead of Ferrari, and AlphaTauri and Aston Martin are pretty close, only 4 points apart. Some points by Russell would have been nice. The possibility of 8th place in the Constructors for Williams being on the table. So yeah, that was the Austrian Grand Prix. What did I think of it? It was a pretty normal, typical F1 race. You had some good battling in the midfield. You had a car take the lead, run away with it. That should have. Red Bull's dominance over the last couple weeks is, very evident and probably going to be that way going forward. I'm sure going into the Silverstone race, though, Mercedes is going to bring some updates, and, full crowd there too. Lewis is going to be pumped up, ready to go. And we also get to have the new sprint races, and the schedule is kind of all over the place for that. You get a practice, a qualifying, the sprint race, another practice, the main race. The steward penalties, kind of bullshit. I think they had to set the precedent. If they gave one on lap 1, everyone else, the rest of the race, was going to get one. It just happened to be Perez twice. The national anthem. I don't know if this was a situation where they booked the wrong band and they showed up or what, but it was awesome, and I hope that, Iron Maiden shows up at Silverstone looking to do God Save the Queen. The Ferrari strategy, also kind of impressive that it worked out that way. I was kind of expecting it to rain on Sunday after they pulled that Saturday. They just did not want to start on a used set of softs. I think they were willing to take the chance even to start the race on the mediums, just knowing that a set of soft tires wasn't going to work on their car. Also, as of now, the Australian Grand Prix is canceled, as well as the MotoGP race. So what's going to fill that in? Will we get that second America date for something else? We'll see what happens. So far, it's been a pretty good season, but the last couple weeks it's looked that Red Bull might run away with it. Is Mercedes going to answer? We'll find out. So, until Silverstone, I will leave you with the amazing rendition of the Austrian national anthem. Until next time, I've been the Game Bro. Have a good night.